Hello, my mimics, and welcome back to the Mimic Commentary, episode 72. It's been, for members only, it's been a week or week and a half since an episode, because I was busy. So on Friday, I did that little Demon Souls episode because I needed the footage anyway for the time-traveling Mikola video, and I thought I would turn that little session into like a Theta episode. So I need to get my bearings again. And to do that, we gotta look around. Oh, that's interesting. When you use the binoculars, the fireflies disappear. So I guess we'll not use that. Out in the distance, we see our 4 bell towers. 3's an unlucky number, so no 3 there. We get a little island. We'll go check that out later. And then, I guess I should use this. A lot of cerulean scarabs. And a sleeping dragon. Not going to bother the sleeping dragon. But the cerulean scarabs are interesting that they're all here. Last episode, I remember I was doing some theorizing about the Blessed Dew Talisman and how it depicts a drop of Erd Tree sap. And it was once thought that the Blessed Sap, the Erd Tree, are forever, but it's a dew talisman. So that leads me to believe that most people, when they see this talisman, they see sap. This is sap coming from the Erd Tree. But since it's called the Blessed Dew Talisman, well, it wasn't really the sap from the Erd Tree that was so powerful. It's the dew. Now, the sap does have power. There is amber in these medallions, and they boost the, stamina, FP, HP. They enhance every part of the body. But I think that there's just something else with the dew. And since we're in Liurnia, we have a lot of important stuff. Celestial dew, hidden tears, night tears. This reverses fate in some way. It reverses all antagonizations. The stars and nights guided fate. So this is a little a little time travel juice, I guess. We reverse the bad things that we did. A little time travel juice that comes from, not to mention, hidden tears, night tears, larval tears, silver tears. I think that's important. When we think of reversing the stars and dew, we have starlight shards, which were made a prized item that was once used in the Eternal City as an ingredient in intoxicating drafts. So they use this to make a drink of some sort. They use... you could probably hear Kristen in the background. You can cough. You don't have to cover. Most of my videos are filmed and it's just me here, but Kristen's on the couch tonight. No input. No input. Anyway, so we have the Rune Arc and the Starlight Shards, both being contrasted here as well. So if we were looking at our items here, it's interesting that the rows are kind of done like this, I think, as well. We have Cerulean, Crimson, and then we have the Mimic, the Wondrous Physic. Then we have the Memory of Grace, Memory of Gold, and then we have the Gold Work Ring that summons the Spectral Steed, who we deduced is a ancestor spirit in some way, tied to all that Crucible stuff, tied to Rebirth. A lot of interesting things there. Yeah, so the Dew, the Starlight Shards, all very interesting stuff. The other celestial body, though, the other thing that could be Dew, is the moon. If we think about the very last panel of Berserk, it's all about... I think I've shown it before. Oh, I show it in the... Which video do I show it in? I show it in... Oh, I show it at the end of the Trauma video, actually. At the very end of the Trauma video, it's a bust of Radigan with the silver tear mask looking at that panel. So if you want to... I'm not going to spoil it, but you should look up that panel if you want some lore stuff. Anyway, let's go continue on with the Mimic Commentary stuff. I just want to recap of where my thoughts are at. Alright, Temple Quarter. So this place is religious in some way to the Academy. We don't know who built the academy yet. It wasn't the... I think we've already deduced that it's not the Carians, though. Oh, we're going to have to take this guy out so we can explore. I changed up the spells a bit, and I upgraded some stuff. We have Blessings Boon now. I think that's actually the best way to do it. How much damage does this do? Oh, that does good damage. Yeah, I'm using both Radigan's Scar Seal and Marika's Scar Seal and the Great Runes, so we can just get like +8 to every single stat. Even though it's kind of like it knocks her damage down quite a bit, we get to wear really heavy armor, so hopefully that means if I play very carefully, we get to do like more cool spells and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. Had to get rid of that so we can explore this area. And I guess since we're exploring too, who do we want to summon? Summoning Oleg on these guys feels mean, but these Albinaurics are much bigger than the other Albinaurics. They have clubs, curved clubs. Oh, actually, look at that. He is watching over. There's a field of flowers here. And, oh, you can actually see there's hiding in the water, just like frogs. And you could hear the frogs croaking in the background, too. He's looking over a body of just a corpse in the middle with an item on it. And amongst a field of flowers, the flowers are unique around here, so there's no flowers anywhere else, except where that woman died, maybe. Ooh, okay, we're going to have to investigate that. But we could see these guys are much bigger, and they're... Oh, blood roses are here. That's interesting. Lord of Blood activity. Is there anything up there? Let's see if I can go up there without anyone being upset. Yeah, because I want to look at his face. Yeah, you can see he has, like, his veins are really coming through, and he's got a bigger weapon. That guy has a more intricate weapon. It's a silvery weapon. Yeah, I guess Oleg is the way to go. Uh-oh. Kyra's attacking the cat. Since this is a temple quarter, I wonder what religion it is that was being, like that was worshipped here. Yeah, that's powerful. Was it most likely before Erdtree, so we'd have to know when the academy was built and who built it. There is a possibility that the academy is Sunrealm era. It's in between Stormveil, or it's close to Stormveil, so that makes it possible. I know. Let's hit him with a lightning strike. How much damage does this do? Oh, that's pretty good. But we have to confirm that. You know, the spires on these buildings kind of remind me of the, they kind of remind me of the graveyards, like the spires on the graves. We'll have to double check. I think when we get to the academy, we will be able to confirm who built it, just by looking at it and seeing the iconography in there. Since, yeah, Oleg was the way to go. See? He's hiding. I see you. Since the academy is like moon and stars and stuff, I'm assuming that they have a close relationship with, I want to hit him with this attack. Yeah. I'm assuming they have a close relationship with the Sunrealm, and that this would have been a Sunrealm build. Oh, he has a Shamshir. Whoa. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the silver man-made Albinaurics have Shamshirs. Oh. Curved sword with a thin blade of ample length, light of weight despite its larger size. Its slicing attacks come in rapid succession, a devastating, powerful weapon in the hands of a skilled swordsman. And it has our favorite spinning slash. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at I think we also determined that that is a... Let me throw down a glowstone, make it easier to see. I think we've also determined that it might be a lily motif, where the blade points out. And as we recall, we got the Shamshir in the High Road Cave. That's where we fought our Guardian Golem, who dropped the Blue Dancer. Dancer in blue represents a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman, blade in hand. The swordsman sealed away an ancient god, a god that was rot itself. Cloth doll garbed in blue. We're tying that to our eternal culture, our Eternals who, come from down by the river, underground, and probably some long-standing plot. Okay, so this is interesting. Where this woman assumedly died, she's very similar to the woman that we found in Lakeside Crystal Cave, Latenna the Albinauric. Okay, so this is an Albinauric woman, just like Latenna, except she's dead. And what does she have in her body? Rhymed crystal bud, 3 of them. All right. So I think we could say she probably came from somewhere cold. And her death, her dying body, flowers bloomed. Think about that. Think about that. Oh, hey, we picked up that rhymed crystal bud. And let's pick up this, crystal bud. So, young plant frozen into crystal before it can mature, widely found in cold regions. Well, who comes from cold regions? The fire monks come from the mountaintops. Giants, where they watch over the flame of ruin, part of the prophecy. That's where fire blossoms come from. And where else? Who else comes from the cold? Oh, the Cadens. Armor of Caden sellswords made with the pelt of a snow wolf, which protects against the cold. These hulking, fearless mercenaries, said to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north, are adept at fighting on horseback. Caden is the name of their home settlement, so they come from the cold as well. So the fire giants, the fire monks, flame of ruin, red-haired people come from the mountains. Radigan has red hair. Radigan must come from the mountains, where this woman came from. She came from the mountains. And they have crystal buds, but this one is covered in rime. So they're crystallizing, frozen into a crystal forfeiture. So this is crystallized most likely by the glintstone in the area. None right here. And this one is frozen into a crystal because of the rime or because of something else? Well, they're the exact same plant as well, on the same type of white branch. These guys right here. I think we've talked about it in Dark Souls 3. The chameleon spell is done with either... Actually, you know what? Let me just show you. Well, let's just switch over to Dark Souls 3 real quick. And welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Pay no attention to what room we're in right now. But yeah, so in Dark Souls 3, you can either use the chameleon spell... Lost sorcery from Ulasil, land of ancient golden sorceries, transforms into something inconspicuous. Far from fully developed, this magic was instead born from the mischief of a young girl who sought relief from the solitude of the woods at dusk. So I want you to think about all those words, and, you could figure that out on your own. Dusk, chameleon, America's mischief, mimic's veil. But the important thing is that if you want to cast that without, having any spells, you can use Young White Branch. Young White Branch used to transform into something which blends into the surroundings. Little Dusk's first sorcerer's staff eventually became a seedling, and then 3 white birch saplings. The young branch is said to still contain echoes of Little Dusk's capriciousness. Oh, 3 white birch saplings. Her staff eventually became seedlings, and what can you do when you use it? That's right, you can mimic. And when you do it down here, you turn into a humanity sprite. This is where Dark Eater Madir is. So, just think about what this location might be coming up in the future of Elden Ring. Alright, speaking of which, back to Elden Ring. And hey, look at that. White birch sapling. Speaking of saplings, neither here nor there, but our starting gift was the Bewitching Branch. Tree branch blessed with an incantation of unalloyed gold, pierce a foe using FP to turn them into a temporary ally. The Empyrean Mikola is loved by many people. Indeed, he has learned very well how to compel such affection. Man, I would love to know, how do you make one of those things? What are the ingredients? Yeah, also very interesting that this woman died here and flowers bloomed. That one's very cool. I had someone comment on one of the public episodes. Ice Rind Hatchet, we'll talk about in a second. And I think I mentioned this before, that they're like, oh, you'll be talking about something so interesting and then you'll just stop. And, like, just make the connection. It's like, well, you can, you know, I know you can make the connection. You know probably what I'm going to say. Just, do the thinking for yourself at that moment. And do the theorizing on your own. And you'll come to the conclusion too, and you'll have fun with it. That's what I think, what I'm trying to do. I think that's fun with the Mimic commentary, is that I can do, I can give you bits and pieces of some of my own theorizing, and then you can finish it, and you can probably come up with something better than me. There's also someone else who commented that they like when I do foreshadowing like this, because they haven't either played the game in a long time, or they haven't played the game at all, and then it comes out as reveals later in the story that are fun and exciting. And, maybe you're not picking up the theorizing that I'm doing, or what I'm alluding to down the line. And that can be a surprise for you, and that'll be fun. Yeah, what did we do? We picked up the Ice Rind Hatchet. Found this in the Temple District. So, what is this? A hatchet with a frost-coated blade. One of the several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. Alright, well, here we go. The Academy has ties to the Sun Realm. I want to look at the gargoyles, see if I notice anything. Oh, my goodness. I hadn't even been looking for lilies. Oh, wait, if the Mikola lilies are here, that must mean the Trino lilies are right here. Yeah, I knew you guys are here. How many are here? 3 Trino lilies right across from each other. Okay, wait. Let me do the Ice Rind Hatchet, and then we'll. A hatchet with a frost-coated blade, one of the several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. Okay, so the Academy has an alliance with Castle Sol in the distant north, tying. And she's from the north, too. And we think the distant north, if we're thinking Song of Ice and Fire parallels, they have ties maybe beyond the wall or with Winterfell. Oh, look at the axe. Oh, and it's interesting that it's an axe, too. Okay, it's got a lot of knots, a lot of dotted knots. That makes me think of, we've seen the paintings in Stormvale of Godfrey's axe, and they kind of have similar type of patterning. Patterns. Then we think of the axe talisman depicting an axe and a warrior. The lord who led the long march bore an axe, and his loyal warriors honored him by wielding axes of their own, making them very effective at dealing decisive blows. And the helmet on the axe talisman looks like Caden helmet, which is Furious Mercenaries from the Wintry North. So, okay. So we got some cultural ties between Caden, the home settlement of the Sellswords, the Lord of the Long March, Godfrey, Castle Sol, tying them down into the Academy. Is this a gift to the Academy, or is this a gift to the Carians? What is it? One of the several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. Okay, so we don't know who the gift is for. Is the gift for the Academy, or is the gift for the Carians? Known as freezing fog, the blade is thought to be a dragon scale, inflict a frost effect. What's the scaling on this? It's a dex scaling. I'd have to rank it up for it to be better. Hoarfrost Stomp. Stomp hard to spread a trail of freezing mist on the ground. The mist applies frost status effect. In the Weeping Peninsula, in the Everjail, where we got Radigan's Scar Seal, also red, from the north, there was a ancient hero of Zamor who cast frost spells. Okay, a lot of connections. Tying to the north and the redhead people and the Albinorics and the Eternals a bit. Okay. So we got 3 Trina Lilies here. Directly mirroring 3 Trina Lilies right here. Directly mirroring 3 Michaelis Lilies. And then, this is also important, look at the difference between the Trina's Lily and the Michaelis Lily. Michaelis Lily has roots, like this was plucked from the ground. This one, no roots. It's not like it's not like it grew on the ground. It's also hazy and dreamlike. This is giving me Mimic Flower. This is giving me Mimic. Like these, which one's the Mimic? This one looks like one, you can't see underneath. You can't tell, it's been frozen over completely. So this one's the Mimic. This is the Mimic. This one is not a Mimic, it's just been crystallized. Yeah, get him. What else? Okay, so let's see where they're looking. They're directly parallel. Let's do the Trina Lilies first. So from the Trina Lilies, Minor Erdtree, Frenzy Hut, 4 Bell Towers, can't see the dragon, Academy, Erdtree. Oh, you can't see past here. Okay, you can't see the plateau. You can't see that church. And we're in the Temple District. Minor Erdtree, so I guess this will be our stop. Minor Erdtree, Bell Towers, Academy Erdtree? I don't know what that's saying. 4 Bell Towers, Academy, Erdtree behind it. That's the Erdtree there. Madness. Erdtree. Oh, behind it. Behind the Erdtree is the Road's End Catacomb. Behind this Erdtree is the Road's End Catacomb, which had the Spirit Calling Snail. Behind this Erdtree is the Academy. But the snail is a snake, so it is a Mimic. So the Erdtree, behind the Erdtree is the Road's End Catacomb with the Mimic, a snake Mimic. Behind this Erdtree, between the Erdtree is the moon in the Academy, which has Renala and her Great Rune? I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. You guys, tell me what you think that one means. I think this one's going to be much easier. We go to the Michaelis Lilies, and what do we see here? You can't really see much here. Look, it's all blocked off. Nothing, you can't see anything here except straight ahead. If we were going to imagine this was like a painting, like if we were going to solve one of the painter's paintings, which is, I think, kind of like what they're telling us, because we found, so the Bewitching Branches, we chose that as a starting gift, but our second set of Bewitching Branches, I think actually the only ones we picked up, the 3 that we picked up were behind the Church of Pilgrimage with Radigan. This is how you solve the prophecy painting, by looking at the Chapel of Anticipation. So if we use the Michaelis Lilies as a type of painting, like the other painting we did, like, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So in the Homing Instinct painting, we get graves, Church of Pilgrimage, Minor Erdtree. So we see people coming back from the dead, making pilgrimage to the Erdtree. That's the Tarnish. We have the prophecy painting. All of this is, there's a lot of noise in this painting, but what it's showing is the Chapel of Anticipation, because that's where we start the game. The prophecy is fulfilled from us. So the Resurrection painting, we see graves, and then we see the Academy, and that's where Renala is. So someone is being resurrected in the Academy, and it's tied to Renala in some way. So let's look at this painting. Let's say Mikola is the painter, weaving it together with his branches. We have a Albinoric woman dead. flowers blooming from her corpse. Past her is the Ice Rind Hatchet. It is the blade of a dragon scale. So we have a freezing dragon from Castle Sol in the distant north. So the sun, distant north, and a dragon. Sunrealm, definitely fully Sunrealm stuff. But the Castle Sol is against the dragon. They're against the cold ice dragon. And that would be a gift to either the Carians or the Academy. And in a temple, they would put this in a place of worship. And this woman died in a place of worship, and it looks like she's being worshipped. Actually, if you look at how the flowers grew, maybe I'll throw it up on the screen. This reminds me of Drogon's Pyre. You know, this isn't really making a theta, but maybe it's a pseudo spiral, or maybe it's a ripple. Like this is the water rippling out. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I don't think there's anything else here. Maybe I check underneath this rock. Yeah, when it comes to Trainer Lilies, I'm not using a map, so I gotta really vigorously explore. Maybe I should use a map to find the lilies, but oh, I don't want to go towards the dragon area. I do double check sometimes. There's a lot that I missed, I think. But that just means when you find them, when you play, you get to think of something neat for them. I don't know, do I really need to hug the Academy wall here? I don't think I need to. Oh, I don't know, use Greatsword on the horse. So I want to hit, I guess I'll hit this thing, and then we'll go to the church. You know, it's interesting that smithing stones. It's interesting that smithing stones are being put in front of each of these little statues. Like, who does she represent in a way that they should be giving her, what do you call it? Smithing stones. Like, why are smithing stones tied to that? You know, Carian Knight is actually a pretty good build too. Oh, I forgot you can spam cast that. Oh, maybe I'm just like, you know, maybe the caster is the way to go. The split caster. Like this. Throw 3 of these up. And then... you use a lot of magic doing that. Maybe I gotta boost MP. Alright, there is something we need here. I think it's you. Oh, too far. Alright, that should be good. Alright, Blood Flame Blade. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Nice. Yeah, using magic makes you feel, like, insane. I usually don't do, like, magic builds, especially ones that, like, by the time I'm doing a magic build, I've already beaten the game. So I'm not, like, really focusing on attacking, like, trash mobs with that stuff. We're going to read Blood Flame Blade in a second. Blood Flame Blade in a second. I just want to make sure I have everything we need. Okay, so that was the Temple District, and here we're coming up onto the Rose Church. And hey, look who it is. It's going to say Rose Church. It's going to pop up. Well, we'll talk to you in a second. There we go. Just want to get as much information as we can before we start chit-chatting. This is gross. Uh-oh, this guy's coming out of the blood. Okay, let's take a look at him. Horns growing out of him, black horns, spiral sword. He has a Reduvia in his offhand that he throws. Horns out of his feet. A lustrous cloth. Braided, like, beads on his arms. He can summon... He can summon blood. It's like burning blood. What else? Oh yeah, he's got a lot of... He's got a lot of energy. Uh-oh. Let him out of there. Alright. Was it always called the Rose Church, or did it become the Rose Church because of blood roses? So I think we firmly say that our friend Vare is someone who is really into this Lord of Blood guy, and probably why our maiden was dead. And it looks like some of these Albinorks are enraptured by this church. Man-made beings. They don't have a divine myth of creation. They're not some heavenly touched people. So perhaps they're looking for other places to find worth in the world. Don't worry, we're gonna go back there. I just want to see if I can get any items off of them. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay. So we'll talk to Vare, but before we do, let us learn more about the Lord of Blood. Oh, also, Cursed Blood Pot. Ooh. Can I craft that? Ooh. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Let me change... Oh, that's a ritual pot. So let me... Okay, two-finger incantations is used for luring. Look at that, makes a little grace man. Let's make some of these Cursed Blood Pots. We're gonna have to find an Albinork to use this on. Okay. Blood Flame Blade. A Blood Oath incantation granted by the Lord of Blood. That is very similar to... looking for the Ash of War. A Blood Oath skill granted by the Lord of Blood. So, we found in Kenneth Heights Castle, someone who was working for Godric was actually loyal to the Lord of Blood. And they had a... what's it called? What's the wording for it? Blood Oath. So they made a Blood Oath with the Lord of Blood. Okay, gross. Engulfs armament held in right hand with blood flame. This incantation can be cast while in motion. We can look, if you look at the image, shows a sword and there's a bunch of blood and fire. So blood flame, fire and blood. So the Targaryens, totally Targaryen stuff. What does it have to do with the Targaryens? After dealing damage, blood flame continues to build onset of blood loss after a short time. The Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. So the roaming nomads know how to make cursed blood pots in the face of utter scarcity. How do you make a cursed blood pot? You need a blood rose, blooms, and blood-soaked soil, beast blood, which is beast blood glinting gold, and then just mushroom, the flesh, to put in there, fill it up. You also need beast blood to lure people. So that's to lure, and then Albinoric blood stops the Flask of Tears. Interesting, interesting. Okay, what do the blood pots do? Throw to douse enemy with cursed blood. Craftable item prepared by using a ritual pot, so it's ritualistic. This is a ritual. That makes it a religious ceremony to me. The Albinorics have a ritual, so there's something religious there. The two-finger incantation sigil and the luring with like a spiritual red shadow. That's that's religious in some way. And this cursed blood. A childhood memory of the Lord of Blood. Thrown enemies, douse them in a cursed blood, causing summoned spirits to assail them in rapid fervor. Okay, so rapid fervor. So the cursed blood is cursed because there's spirits in them. Rabid spirits are in the blood. Oh. That's just like Bloodborne, a blood echo. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Let's see the... What does that do? What did that do? It didn't do anything. Does it need someone with blood? What? Is it supposed to make them bleed? Accursed blood. Wait, let me find someone. Let me find an Omninorc to throw it out. I need to throw 2? Okay. 1 damage. Is it building like blood loss or something? I don't know what it does. Oh, I didn't have a shield out. I don't know what that's supposed to do. I have to look it up. It's unclear. Wait, I gotta look up the... I'm sorry, I usually don't look up things because I usually know what they do, but right now I have no idea. One moment. Cursed blood upon douse an enemy with cursed blood. A glowing red insignia will appear on the affected enemy, at which point any spirit you have summoned with spirit ashes will aggressively target and tap. Oh, that's so interesting. So you... Wait, what the heck? So you throw the accursed blood on them, and then your spirits attack them. Oh, it's... With accursed blood, douse, causing summoned spirits to assail them, rapid fire. I was thinking like spirits would like the Rancor pot. Like, I thought it was going to work like this. I don't have a Rancor pot. Can I make any? I thought, or like this. I thought it was going to be like the Wraith Calling Bell. Or it was going to be like the Rancor pot, like this. I thought it was going to be like that. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. So, the Lord of Blood, a childhood memory. So, since childhood, the Lord of Blood was doused in or has accursed blood, causing summoned spirits to assail them with rabid fervor. And that guy we fought, he looked like he took a blood oath. He definitely had a festering bloody finger. The furrowed finger is blackened with blood congestion. It had been chopped off rather unceremoniously. It's got the same type of horns. Same type of horns growing from it. So there's beast blood. Oh, so it's crucible. Okay. So since it needs beast blood, the accursed blood is most likely crucible blood. If you have crucible blood, you could have cursed blood. So the Lord of Blood has crucible blood. And if you're thinking, hey, Jack, you're really using some prophetic powers to come to that conclusion. Nuh-uh. You saw how I did it. It's all right there. And it's in the blood. It's crucible blood. It's crucible bloodlines. So now I hope that helps understand some of the other theorizing I do. Okay. Hey, Varia, what's up? I'm going to drink juice in front of him.
There you are. You claimed a great room and had your audience with the 2 fingers at the round table home.
Yes.
What was your impression?
It didn't seem right. They were magnificent. Well, we're going to lie to him. They didn't seem right. But I'm going to tell him that they were magnificent.
You don't say. Well, what a relief that must be. You may go, then. My work here is done. May the wisdom of the 2 fingers guide you.
Okay. Vare, we lied to him. When we lied to Renna, when she gave us the spirit calling bell, she's like, wise. You know, Torrent, you're able to summon the spectral steed. named Torrent, and you know to lie to people, because they're going to lie to you. Well, I lied to this guy, and he's just like, oh, well, I guess this guy, I can't get him to do what I want to do, so bye-bye. So he's not the brightest guy. He's trying to do some schemes. But Vare, low man on the totem pole, they ain't sending their best. They ain't sending their best. He's not thinking 3 moves ahead. Somebody else is, though.
Oh? Is something wrong?
The 2 fingers seemed off. I've reconsidered.
Aha. Your intuition serves you well. My doubts had been piling up, you see.
Oh, he came to this conclusion.
The words of the 2 fingers cannot be trusted.
But his can.
Truly, naught but rambling, senile delusion.
Just like this video.
I believe that when the Elden Ring was shattered, the 2 fingers were corrupted, their guidance skewed.
Since he believes that, we shouldn't believe him.
Worse, the fingers harbor no love for our kind. That's the part that irks the most.
Okay. So is he talking about... let me just clarify what I mean by you can't believe that. Okay. He says, I believe that when the Elden Ring was shattered, the 2 fingers were corrupted, their guidance skewed. What do I mean we can't believe that? Well, so he's wrong about, I guess, mostly all of this. Not that the 2 fingers are corrupted and their guidance is skewed, just when that occurred. So I agree that the 2 fingers are corrupted and their guidance is skewed. But it's not because of the Elden Ring shattered, and I think we can deduce that because Vare believes it. How would Vare know? How would he know? What does he know? Guy doesn't even know how to lie. Even worse, the fingers harbor no love for our kind. Now that one's interesting. Is he talking about being tarnished? He doesn't have any gold in his eyes, so he could be a tarnished. Or does he mean people? Humans? Oops. I'm thinking he means tarnished, though. Alright, so what does he say?
Oh, I have a gift for you. Something fit only for the wise.
Yes, we're so wise. Oh, we have one of these.
A means for circumventing the draw of the 2 fingers. Give it a try, won't you? And if it please you, may we meet again. I've high hopes for you, my lambkin. Be sure to try that finger I gave you.
Hey, it's getting pretty
There's
out.
no reason to dither. The tarnished were spurned by grace, forsaken by the 2 fingers. And now they ask you to mend their crumbling world? Your loyalties are misplaced with them.
So here's the interesting part. He says that the tarnished were spurned by grace, forsaken by the 2 fingers. Now we know.
Sure to try. I'm quite certain.
Okay, yeah. So we know, since we chose the prophet and we came from outside the lands between, that we are part of the 2-finger religion. That the 2 fingers have a religion outside of the lands between. That also has confessors too, and the confessors are assassins. So how could they have spurned the tarnish if the religion still holds true? So I guess he's saying, since we didn't get grace, they never liked us. Their religion is all a lie. Don't believe anything they've ever said. They ask us to mend their crumbling world. This is their world. Their world. Not America's world. He says it's the fingers. They're the ones who are really in control. Which, is an interesting thought. Think of it from the perspective of you have the church and the state and the queen, and he's saying that the church controls the state. The queen is just a figurehead, and even the Erd tree is just a source of power. Really, it's the fingers that are in control, not American or tree. It's the fingers. But we don't really, we don't trust the 2 fingers. We also, there's something off about them. Way off. And America might be, she might be pulling it's not the 2 fingers pulling the strings. They can't pull the strings. They don't have 2 fingers. It might be America doing that. But it might be somebody else too. Might be somebody else. Or it could be somebody else. Or it could be somebody else. So we don't know. There's a lot of people, a lot of schemes going back and forth. It could also be somebody else. All right. I think that was a fun episode. I think we did a lot. I mean, we only went from Temple Quarter to Rose Church, but now we can do Hyetta next episode, and then we could travel through Academy Gate Town. Or, yeah, you know what we'll do? This is my plan. Hyetta, Gate Town. Before going up to the Academy, we're going to go up this way. So I'm going to do Hyetta, Gate Town, that. We'll do everything before this bridge. Everything before this bridge. Oh, but before we end the episode, this is where we're gonna go, and I never picked the Stormhawk feathers up. Look at all that. Let's do a nice panning shot. Just kidding, there's one more thing we have to pick up. There's a train of lily we never picked up. What does she want us to see? Oh, we'll look next episode before we go down there. Alrighty, buddy. Hope you enjoyed. You know the drill. Let's do the thing.